What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream, people, and another one bites the dust, people. Another Arsenal player is injured, and these guys that play every week for their clubs, they come to Arsenal, and then within a few weeks they're out again. Laying in their bed. You know that famous picture where they're in the bed and they're just like, with their leg in the air and a cast on it or something. Another one bites the dust. We'll speak more about it, people. And big up to everyone locked in. We'll look ahead to Port Vale. Port Vale, people, in the League Cup. A chance to, well, how do I look at that game, really? Listen, I'll be totally honest with you, people. The way Mikel Arteta's looking at the moment, he should do everything to get his hands on the Carabao Cup this season, to be honest. I know he won't think like that, and he'll be thinking, I can win the Prem, and of course he should be thinking he can win the Prem. But if I was Mikel Arteta, I would be doing everything I could to win that Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, because those competitions might buy him a little bit of time to sort of stay at the club. Not that I agree with that, but that's the reality of the situation. I think if Arteta got top four and won an FA Cup or won a Carabao Cup, they'd give him another year. Whether we as fans agree with that, but I think they would be like, he would justify it and say, look, I've won another trophy now. Now I can go and get the big one. The mentality's going to change. So I think that would keep him in a job, personally. So if I was him, too many times he's turned his nose up at these competitions when I think he needs to make sure he delivers something. But just I mean, we're going to get into the Madueke injury a little bit more, but this is crazy what's going on with Arsenal Football Club and injuries. Like, we've joked about it before. Oh, they train on a car park, but I think they genuinely are training on a car park. Like, there were rumours that um that Arsenal built that training ground on a car park and that the ground underneath it is extremely hard. Players have spoken about it before. England used to train at Arsenal and stopped training there because they said the ground is too hard. They don't like it. Obviously, they've ended up building St George's Park, but sometimes when they have a game at Wembley, maybe the day before, they'll train at a stadium training ground that is local. They used to train at Arsenal, they don't anymore. That is not a coincidence. Like, they've said, look, the training ground's too hard. Thomas Partey was not injury prone until he got to Arsenal. Nani Madueke, all these guys have spoken about it before. Oh, there's a new merch drop. Don't worry, guys. We drew to Man City, even though that feels like a defeat. There's new merch. The last days of Highbury. A new drop. The last days of Highbury, people. They will literally make up anything, won't they? The Invincible merch, the last days of Highbury, the Ian Wright, they will bring out anything. And to be honest, I mean, I'm wearing Arsenal merch now, so can I really complain that much? But they're even more shameless than me, I can't lie. They are brutally shameless, you know? But I suppose there's only so much I could say when I'm wearing merch for the show. But yeah. They're actually just making things up at this point. But yeah, big up to everyone locked in anyway. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got a few things to talk about. Before we do, we're going to talk some general football, not just Arsenal. Last night was obviously the Ballon d'Or Awards. By the way, can I just say, how can you have the Ballon d'Or Awards? I don't know about other parts of the world, by the way, but in England, that was not televised. I have no idea. It's the biggest award ceremony in football for individual players. And I ended up watching the stream on iShowSpeed's stream. Cruz watches iShowSpeed, and he was watching it on his stream, and I thought, well, I can't find it anywhere. Every stream that we were finding, it was getting cut off. There was adverts all over it. So I'm watching iShowSpeed to watch the Ballon d'Or Awards. What the hell is going on? Do you know what I mean? Why is it not on Sky or TNT Sports? Or why Ballon d'Or not streaming it? I'm having to watch iShowSpeed. It was crazy. It was on YouTube in the US. Over here, we were starving for it. Couldn't find it anywhere. We can't get 3 p.m. kickoffs because they think the stadiums will be empty. We can't watch the Ballon d'Or awards, so I got to watch iShow Speed present the awards to me. What the hell is going on, man? But I want to say congratulations to Osman Dembele. For a few reasons. He's a player that I've always rated, very exciting talent, a player that Arsene Wenger tried to sign at Arsenal when he was at Borussia Dortmund, but another one that Wenger, we could not do it. And he ended up at PSG. He had a tough time at Barcelona, really suffered with injuries, was criticised for turning up late, and you could see how much it meant to him. He's a player that doesn't show that much emotion. And you saw him just break down yesterday in tears, man. And I thought, you know what, man? I respect it. I'll be honest, over the 12 months, the most enjoyable footballer to watch in the world for me has been Lamine Yamal. But when you look at what Dembele's won, he's won the Champions League. He won the quadruple, including the Champions League, first Champions League for PSG ever to win. I'm very, very happy for him. I think if it was him or Lamine Yamal, you could have said, you know, both of them have been the two best players. But I'm very, very happy for Dembele. You could see it meant a lot to him, and the emotion. And we can say, look, French League, Farmers League, I don't agree with that. They slapped up Man City, Liverpool, Villa, and Arsenal. So whether it's a Farmers League or not, they are not a Farmers team. That is for sure. They were the best team in Europe last season. So big up them boos. Raza said, yes, Curtis, love the car post-match review. Proper throwback to 1920 season. Could we see them back frequently? Listen, you know me, I'm a man of the people. If I got to go back to the car for the post-match, then I'll go back to the car. Maybe we mix it up a little bit, you know? Yamal hype, he got 9 league goals. I know, but let's be honest, man. You watched them Champions League games last season. He was the one. Every time I watched Barcelona, he was the one that made you go, wow, he's unbelievable, you know? I think sometimes we get caught up in numbers nowadays, and I get it. You can't ignore numbers. Dembele got over 30 goals. Yamal got like 9 league goals. But you know, you look back at a lot of these wingers back in the day, man. You look at your Beckhams and those guys. Them man were getting 5 goals, 6, 7 goals a season, and we're still rated as the best wingers around. You know, Figo and these guys. Rafinha's numbers were crazy as well. Rafinha's numbers were crazy. And you know what? I'm gonna say this, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's a little bit. Does anybody not feel like Salah is so disrespected in football? I don't know what it is. Somebody put up a tweet yesterday, right? They said if Salah was Brazilian, he'd have won a Ballon d'Or or at least got more recognition. I don't know if it is to do with where the guy comes from or what, but I mean, I'm seeing Cole Palmer in the top 10. What the hell did Cole Palmer do last season? Really? The guy went 13 games without scoring. I know they won the Club World Cup, but what did he do? Salah got 28 league goals and 18 assists. And Vitinha's, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Salah, I don't know what it is with him, but it's like the streets don't love Salah, man. I don't know. I think he's not the most aesthetically pleasing footballer in the world to watch. But you can't deny what the guy produces, man. He's phenomenal. And he never gets near them all. Van Dijk came 28th. Wow. Crazy. Best defender in the world, 28th. Madness. I don't know. It is what it is. But Arsenal had somebody, well, 2 players that we want to mention briefly, actually. 27th. Forget Virgil van Dijk, the best centre-back on the planet. Let's talk about Declan Rice, 2 free kicks against Real Madrid, and he came 27th. And by the look of his face there, he can't believe he came 27th either. No, listen. How you putting that picture of all pictures, man? Ballon d'Or ranking 27. Look at the face. What the hell? How the hell did I come 27th? All I do is whip in corners and take long throws. No, listen. Big up Deckers, man. Deckers one of the coolest guys out of all the Arsenal players, by the way. So I hope he's not tuned in and hearing any of this. But Deckers, I'm only joking, bro. It's Arteta. It's his fault. He spoils players, bro. But nah, big up Declan Rice, 27th, Real Madrid free kick tax. Weighs heavy, my friend, weighs heavy. I think he had a good half a season. From Christmas, he kicked into gear before Christmas. I don't think he was that good last season, but fair play to him. I'm happy for him. But yeah, it's rabbit in the headlights. He's like, what am I doing in this 8 role? I just want to tackle and win the ball back. Oh, YouTube notifications. Come on. Come on. The people then want to watch the show and you're notifying people too late. Well, you got to do better than that, man. You know what I mean? The people need to know what time it is. And also, Victor Gyökeres won the Gerd Müller Trophy. Basically, does that mean they're rating him as the top striker in world football? Is he the top scorer? I'll be honest, I don't really know what this trophy means. Like, I'll be totally honest. I was asking people, like, is it because he scored the most goals? Are they saying he's the best striker? What is the actual reason that he won the award? I don't quite... Top striker, is that what they're saying? I suppose his numbers. Yeah, top scorer. I suppose in all competition, that's what it was, right? I saw a lot of people saying it should have been Mbappe, it should have been... But listen, fair play to him. Do you know what I like about it? This is why we're a very shameless fan base in general. And even I retweeted it and stuff. It was like, we were going, yes, our Arsenal guy's been voted the top scorer in world football. He's one of the best strikers in the world. And ultimately, he achieved all this playing for Sporting Lisbon. I said it on yesterday's show. I was like, listen, Victor Gyökeres, well done. Go there, take pictures, take selfies, record it, because you will not be at the Ballon d'Or Awards next season, unfortunately, because you're going to be starved of service, get about 11 goals in all competition, and they won't invite you there next season. You will be watching Mbappe, Kane, and Haaland fighting over top goal scorer in Europe. So, yeah, big up to Victor Gyökeres, man, and well done on winning your award. I hope you enjoyed the evening, because you will not be there next season. I'm just speaking. We all know it's the truth, people. He won't be there next season. He's going to get about 15 chances in the whole season. You can't get to a Ballon d'Or awards on when you're starving like that. Apparently, he did a short interview, and some people said... People are saying they were subliminals at Arsenal, but I don't know. Maybe he's already... Do you know what's funny, right? And I don't know how true this is. You guys let me know this, by the way. I got a message from a journalist in Sweden over the summer. And he messaged me and he said, you know, watch your channel, blah, blah, blah. He said, I don't comment much. He said, you guys need to understand that Gyökeres is a feisty character. He says, a lot of Arsenal fans won't know, but he said he's not a guy that's going to just accept foolishness. He will speak up. He will fall out with managers if necessary. So I was like, okay, I'll bear that in mind moving forward. So one of the comments that he said... Some people online saying you don't mean nothing by it. Some saying it's the early subliminals. You know, like with rappers where they drop subliminals, then it gets a bit more personal, then they drop the diss record. These might be the subliminals. Victor Gyökeres on what creates a top striker. He said a lot of factors. Obviously, you have to play in a team where you create chances, get chances, and connect with the team. After then, it's a desire to score. It's really important. Is that the subliminal diss before the real diss track? You know, he said a lot of factors. Obviously, you have to play. Yeah, you know, Jay-Z. Jay-Z always disses people but never mentions anyone's name. You know, I feel like that could be the, you know, I need chances. If I don't have chances, I ain't going to be it. Speak your truth, bro. I'm here for it, Victor. I'm defending you. I still believe you're a top striker. But it's difficult when the manager's starving you. But no, big him up, Gerd Müller trophy. And listen, let's hope he comes back and that inspires his confidence moving forward. Moving like Drake, sneak dissing. Swedes are very direct, yeah? Well, let's see. I'm sure he'll speak up. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about... Yeah, I am. You know, I retired as Aubameyang's lawyer the day he went to Barcelona. It was a sad day. I put the paperwork in the cupboard and I said, that's it, I'm done. He's no longer an Arsenal player. I tried to defend him. It didn't work. I'll now be working as the Victor Gyökeres lawyer because some of the fans are turning on him. And I'm saying, be patient. Look at the manager and look at the lack of creativity. I will defend this guy. Until I see him miss chances, I'm not turning my back on him. He needs to be helped. Yeah. Marseille beat PSG last night. I believe the Port Vale game is on TV. I believe it is. I think all of the games are on TV. But anyway, let's talk about the man said the Glock's starting to jam. Yeah, yeah. Arteta's blocked it, my friend. Let's talk about the big. I said you better call me, people. You know what I mean? Ghostbusters settings. Here we go. Breaking news. Another Arsenal player is injured. I mean, is that even breaking news? It's like saying water is wet. You know, you play for Arteta, your legs, your knee, your ankle, something's going to be a mess. We got the breaking news this morning from David Ornstein. Ornstein bomber, people. Noni Madueke is expected to be sidelined for around 2 months with a knee injury. The 23-year-old winger sustained the problem in the first half of the Arsenal versus Manchester City game on Sunday, but is understood to have avoided anterior cruciate ligament ACL damage. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 32 league games out of 38 he played for Chelsea last season. Comes to Arsenal, 5 games in, there you go. There you go. Knee injury, 2 months. Knee injury, 2 months. Nearly was the ACL, which would have took him out for the whole season. So, Bukayo, all of that, what I said last week about Saka, I wouldn't even play him, and I would, I'd rest him for games and I'd ease him in. That is all out the window. Not for me, by the way, because I'd take Saka off and bring Waneri on. I'd take Saka off and bring Max Stallman on. I would still mix it up. However, you know what time it is now, don't you, people? Starting from the weekend, it is Bukayo Saka 90-minute time. It is, if Saka can walk, you stay on the pitch time. It is that time, people. Trust me. So, things need to change. Whatever they're doing, it's not working. The training ground, genuinely, they need to look at moving training ground or dig that training ground up and start again and get that concrete from underneath that ground. They built it on a car park, and that maybe those pitches are too hard, or the training is too intense, or the training is not intense enough, because there's a balance. They were saying at times that Arsene Wenger's training was so light-hearted and lack of physicality that when they came to games on the weekend, their body went into shock because the training was so light. Then they went into a game, someone clattered them, their body wasn't used to it. So players would consistently break down. Now people are saying Arteta's training is high intensity. Remember, Havertz tore his hamstring doing high intensity training in Dubai. We were warm weather training. You ain't supposed to be doing high intensity work when you go warm weather training. You're supposed to be relaxing and letting your muscles relax. So something is fundamentally wrong at this football club. This is not a coincidence. It's not unlucky. Oh, we're so unlucky with injuries. PGMOL haters, the red cards weren't our fault. No, some of them red cards were your fault. The PGMOL don't hate us, they're just not good at their job. And these injuries are not all a coincidence. The cover is now injured. Max Stallman was not in the squad at the weekend. He played under 21s, which shows you that they're probably thinking, ease him out a little bit of the first team in the Premier League. So what happens now with Bukayo Saka? Who is Saka's cover for the next 2 months? Where do we go from here? They have to start managing this team better. They have to change the training sessions, look at the medical doctors, everything. Everything. Something is not right. Big up Owen who said best channel. Amo said, I'm sorry, Arteta is a fraud treating players like machines. Big up Matt Southern. I think it's a combination of all those factors. Remember, ESR got hurt in the warm down. That's down to overextending the player. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I saw some stats that Liverpool have suffered less injuries under Arne Slot because of Arne Slot's training methods and also the style of play of Liverpool. If you look at Liverpool at the moment, nearly their whole squad is fit. And last season, they suffered less injuries. We know that Klopp's football was high intensity, high press, all action, all energy. Slot's is a little bit more possession-based, slightly slows down. Apparently, the training sessions are lighter. They're getting less injuries. Is that a coincidence that Salah just had one of his best seasons? Right? You look at Arsenal, we're trying to play high intensity, a lot of defence, a lot of running. We're suffering because of it. We're suffering because of it. So something in the style of play, the medics, the training sessions, and the training ground, that stuff, the combination of all of that, it is not working. They have got to go back to square one and look at it. Look, Slot's injury record in the Netherlands is unreal. Barely an injury in years. So how come he knows but Arteta doesn't? How come? What's the difference? It's not rocket science, bro. Come on. It's not good enough how we're getting so many injuries. Fabricator, Arteta's lineup on Sunday still leaves me frustrated and angry. What was the point of travelling to London for such a match? Everything was set up for another humiliation of a poor City side. City turned up vulnerable and we were scared. We were scared. You know, Pep, you've never seen Pep do that at the end of an Arsenal game. Pep's the type of manager that I'm going to score a second and a third. He sat in and said, I'll win this 1-0. You know, I'll defend. He probably looked at our attack and thought, we can manage that. We'll win this 1-0. And in the end, he cost himself the game and drew 1-1. If Pep's that vulnerable, you've got to go and beat them. Henri said it, titles have to be won, they have to be grabbed. You can't just potter along and win a title. You've got to grab the title. Leicester, the year Leicester won the title, the whole season people said, oh, they'll slip up. They'll fall off, they're not good enough. Did they ever sit there during the season and go, you know what? We were tipped for relegation, but we're flying, but we'll ease off a bit and we'll still probably get a Champions League place or finish 6th. It's a great season. No, they sat there and went, I tell you what, we can win this. We're going to grab it. Vardy can't stop scoring. Mahrez is the best player in the league. Kante's a machine. The defence is solid. We'll go and get it. And that's why they got it, because they believed that they could win it. So why is a team like Arsenal with £1 billion squad turning up for games in the hope that we don't get beat? This isn't the Man City team that got 100 points. This isn't prime Aguero, Sterling, Sané, De Bruyne, David Silva. This is a Rodri that doesn't look fit. This is a Nico Riley who's a midfielder at left back, a Kuzanov who's not even that good at right back. He's a centre back. Doku, who's been inconsistent but has actually played well the last couple of weeks. City were there to be beaten. We asked no questions of Donnarumma. Man United asked more questions of Donnarumma. He's at full stretch making saves from Umbremo. How many saves did Donnarumma make at the weekend? Eze's shot that was straight at him. Madueke had a shot in the first half at the near post. He didn't have nothing to do. He came out and just punched all of Declan Rice's corners away. And what about that? I was saying it during the game. Are we not clocking on to the fact every Declan Rice corner is being punched away by Donnarumma? Why don't you take a short corner? Why don't you whip it to the near post and keep it away from him? They did the same thing over and over again. It was crazy. Yeah, Kuzanov actually had a good game in the end at right back. So he may end up becoming a good right back. Let's be honest. Timber's a centre back who's turned into an amazing right back. So it is pathetic. I feel sorry for Madueke, to be honest. You came to the club. People didn't rate the signing. People like me, not at that price. You've fought your way into contention. You've actually played quite well, although I think the end product isn't good enough. And now you're out for 2 months. Now you're going to miss the England games. Saka's going to take your place. You're back to square one. And then you've already got a slightly, now we've got to manage that knee injury, which you've seen with Gabriel Jesus, you've seen with Kai Havertz. Does this manager manage knee injuries well? Of course he doesn't. Fitz, big up to you, bro. He said, Salah spoke some truths on a certain conflict. Well, there you go. There you go. And they don't like that. They want footballers to get their wages, play football, and keep their mouth shut. Don't involve politics. No, these things are real life. Speak up on it. You got a platform. Don't hide. I respect the fact that he spoke up on it. LFC, big up to you, man, for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Gyökeres playing with different wingers every game. Do you know what? And listen, obviously I didn't want Madueke to get injured. I actually think Saka, well, saying that, he actually shoots a lot as well. I'm just thinking they need to get players on the pitch that create chances. He needs Gyökeres. Martinelli's not a good creative winger either. They're more goal-scoring wingers. Richard said, I lost faith in Arteta in that Bournemouth game last season. Go down to 10, shut up shop for a draw. Fear of failure outweighs his hunger to win. 100%, bro. Seen multiple teams go down to 10 men and score goals and attack and win games. When we go down to 10 men, we've got 10 players on the edge of the penalty area, Jason said, Big C, Noni was prone before Chelsea, missed 50-odd games over 2 seasons, 24-25, he missed 9 games. No, listen, do you know what? That's a great point. Let's have a look at his injury record, because I'll be honest, I only looked at last season at Chelsea, so let's have a little look at Madueke's injury record when he was at PSV. Did he miss a lot of games over there? I haven't really seen how long he was out for. So let's have a look. Noni Madueke, injury history. Right, let's have a look. Was he injured a lot when he was at I tell you what, I looked at Dembele's injury record yesterday. It is phenomenal that he's won a Ballon d'Or. He's missed so much games. Do you know what? I'm going to share screen on this so we can see this. So we can all see this. Noni Madueke injury record. This is Noni's. Wow, yeah. No, there is some injuries there. 18-19 minor knock. 2021 minor knock, 8 days. Another knock, 30 days. So he missed about a month, just over a month. 21-22 was not good. It doesn't say what injury it is, which is frustrating, but he had 4 muscle injuries there. 25 days, 43 days, 61 days, and 25 days in the same season. So you're looking at, what, 150 days there? So you're not far off half a year out. 22-23, ankle injury, 82 days, nearly 3 months. 23-24, unknown injury, a muscle injury. And then at Chelsea, he missed just over a month. I mean, at Chelsea, he's been better. 23-24, he missed 23 days for injury, 5 games. And then last season at Chelsea, an illness and a hamstring injury, he missed 10 games. He missed around a month and a half. So in his last 2 seasons at Chelsea, this one injury at Arsenal alone is going to be more than his whole time at Chelsea. So at PSV, yeah, his injury record's pretty bad. At Chelsea, it seems to have improved. But do they look at, I mean, you wonder sometimes, don't you? Do they look into these things? You know, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So you would think, I mean, but you should look at Calafiori's injury record. You wouldn't go anywhere near him if you saw that. You know what I mean? He was young. Well, listen, maybe he's got stronger. He's like, what, 22, 23 now? How old is he? Noni Madueke, 23. So maybe he's got stronger, you know, you're growing at them times still. You can get injuries. So maybe he's stronger now, but obviously not. One thing I want to quickly discuss regarding his injury. And I'm gonna try and be fair because I don't want to always say everything is Arteta's fault. But I want to discuss this with you guys, and then you guys let me know, right? So the quote that has come out, Arteta said this on Sky as well, but this is the quote. So Noni Madueke apparently felt something in his knee early. This is the key word here, people. Early in the first half versus Manchester City, but continued to play on. He is being sent for medical checks and a scan today. However, there is a hope he will not be a significant layoff. Obviously, we now know, because this was last night, he's out for 2 months. They were worried it could have been ACL, which could have been 8 to 12 months. Now, my question is this. I'm trying to look at this from both points of view. Number one, sometimes you play football, I get it, and you get a little bit of pain, but it's not holding you back. And the manager says, are you okay? And you play through it. And ultimately it could be worse. So I'm looking at it from the footballer's point of view. However, do we have to look at this from Arteta and go, he had pain in his knee early in the first half against Manchester City in a massive game, and who knows how much worse you've made that injury by him continuing for the rest of that first half and bringing him off at half time? I'm just purely asking the question. I think I'm being fair here. I'm asking you guys the question. Now, I'm sure ultimately the manager has a responsibility to protect his players. Why was he not given treatment? Why did they not tell him, yo, go on the floor, let the physio come and check you? The fact they knew he had pain in his knee early in the half would indicate Noni must have said something. Surely Noni said, yo, the knee's hurting a little bit. Do you think you're all right? Can you play on? Yeah, I'll play on. It feels to me like that's sort of what happened. Now, we don't know. I honestly don't want to say that's what happened and blame Arteta. I'm not going to do that. However, surely, did he go on, was he on the floor in the first half? I might have missed that. People are saying he looked hurt early in the half. I might have missed it looking at the comments. Timber against Forest, what happened? Timber came back out and done his ACL. Guess what? Noni Madueke, they scanned his ACL. So Noni Madueke was close to doing what Timber did when Timber looked injured, carried on and did his ACL and missed the whole season. We were that close. That's why they scanned his ACL. Now, again, I am not blaming Arteta. I'm not, because we don't know. I don't want to blame someone without having factual evidence. But I am asking the question, if Madueke had pain in his knee early in the half, why did he play until half-time? And he had an ACL scan. He could have been out for the whole season with that injury. You are very, very lucky that he didn't do his ACL. I'm telling you, people would have been absolutely annihilating him for this injury. 2 months, he's got away lightly compared to what that could have been. Maybe he looked at it and thought, you know, he's our best player at the moment. Big C, you played. Would you continue if you felt something? And you know what, Craig? I'll be honest with you. If I felt I could continue to play, I would probably say yes, I can. However, a player does not manage the football club. It's not actually Noni Madueke's responsibility, to be honest. If Madueke felt available and felt like I can get to half time, most players are going to say, yeah, I'm all right. I can run, I can kick, I'm good. It's about the manager. It's about the manager. If you've got a kid, let's say you've got kids, and they go to school in the morning and they're shattered. And you go, why are you so tired? And they go, oh, I stayed up till 1 a.m. on my PS5 playing FIFA. Well, actually, it's the parent's responsibility to go, turn your console off, get to bed, sleep properly. Yeah, make sure you're all right. Ultimately, Mikel Arteta is supposed to be the one going, Noni, at least go on the floor, let the physio come on and check you. The only way you could excuse it for Arteta is if the medical team didn't know. If Madueke was in pain and didn't say anything. If that's the case, Arteta can't do anything about it. I'm just wondering, how do they know he felt something in his knee early in the first half? Surely they would have indicated something. Listen, it's all ifs, buts and maybes, so I'm not actually here to blame Arteta. Until we know for sure, it's very difficult. Vabav said, how the hell was Luis Enrique in talks to become the Tottenham manager? Arsenal never even tried to sign him and sack Arteta. Well, do you know the funny thing? If you read a lot of them reports, apparently Tottenham were kind of moved away from Enrique. It sounds as if Enrique would have taken the job, which makes it even crazier, why you think... I saw something yesterday that Luis Enrique's on about 7 million euros a season, which is around just under 6 million. Arteta's on 15. I go to Luis Enrique at the end of the season. Oh, he signed a new deal, 10 million euros a season. Okay, so what's 10 million euros? 10 million euros in pounds is 8.7. He's on 8.7 million. Arteta's on 15. End of the season, you go to him and say, I'll give you 15 million a season to come to Arsenal. He clearly wanted to come to the Prem if he was going to go to Tottenham. I say, I'll give you 15 million. You've won everything in France. Come to the Prem. Come to the Prem and dominate Pep. Barcelona, go head to head. Our team is ready to go. 1 or 2 more signings in the summer and a manager with a proper system. This is the guy that had Messi, Suarez, Neymar. One of the most exciting front threes you've ever watched in your life. Imagine what he'd do with our front line. Man's took Dembele, a right winger, an inconsistent right winger, and turned him into a Ballon d'Or winning striker. Imagine what he could do with our players. Honestly, he would be #1 target for me. I don't care if he's at PSG. A lot of people think, oh, he's at PSG, you can't get him. I would try and get him. I would try, because he's going to win the league again at PSG. You might think, can I really achieve that much more? I'd get him out. I'd get Arteta out at the end of the season and go for him. It's like Arteta forcing injuries to have an excuse. He loves hiding behind the injuries. User said Arteta needs to do a 180 and play attacking football if he wants to win the league and win the fans back. Just like Conte, it's not too late. You know what, User? That is a brilliant point. And I wanna talk about that. I'm rounding up the show a little bit quicker today because I've got to go out. So we'll be on for another 10, 15 minutes max. We won't get to the hour. You guys know my thoughts on Arteta. You know what I think. I don't think he's the right manager, and I don't think we're going to win the Premier League or the Champions League. However, you can change things. It's not difficult. Like PSG came to Arsenal at the beginning of last season. We beat them 2-0. They were bang average. Dembele had fallen out with Luis Enrique. He was being criticised. They didn't look anywhere near like winning the Champions League. They weren't even in the top 8. They had to go through the qualifiers. They ended up winning the quadruple and played some of the best football in Europe because the manager managed the squad properly. He got Doué balling out. He signed Kvara in January. He got Dembele up front, which I never saw Dembele as a striker. He's very lightweight. I didn't think he could play up front. He's just won the Ballon d'Or and scored 35 goals in a season. This manager, actually, as crazy as it is, he can still turn this season around. We are early in the season. But if he sticks by his stubborn ways, we won't do anything. If he's brave enough to say, I'm getting this wrong, I can get more out of this team, I don't need to guarantee Odegaard a place in this team or certain other players, he's still got a chance of moving forward. It's whether he's willing to sort of admit he's wrong a little bit. Admit he's wrong. And it's whether he is able to do that or not. You've got to get more out of these players. Vitinha last night came third in the Ballon d'Or. When he played for Wolves, I didn't hardly notice that guy. I know it's Wolves. They're a team that gets beat in the Premier League. But it just shows what a good manager can do with the right players. And a good mindset that he wants to get the best out of them and attack and move forward. We can get, honestly, Arsenal, that team, you can get so much more out of that team. So much more. You can get 25 goals out of Gyökeres if you create chances. You can have Eze looking like one of the best number 10s in Europe in this Arsenal team. Zubimendi getting on the ball. Declan Rice looking like the beast that he was before. You've got Timber, one of the best right-backs in Europe. Gabriel and Saliba is up there as the best central defensive partnership in Europe. Calafiori, I'm not convinced, but he's actually played the season quite well. Apart from at times a bit wild. And David Raya's got back-to-back golden gloves. Any manager walking into the Arsenal changing room would go, wow, this ain't a difficult job. I can work with this team. And I've got an owner that's now giving me money as well. What's the reason this team isn't winning trophies? A manager would love that job at Arsenal. I'm telling you now, a lot of top managers would take the Arsenal job. A lot of top managers. I genuinely believe that. Just briefly, I had a stat, and I've just taken it off the screen, right? I thought was quite funny. And we'll quickly look ahead to Port Vale tomorrow. Look at this stat. And this sums Arsenal up, don't it, this stat? This stat sums up everything about Mikel Arteta. Don said, Curtis, the commentator said, on Sunday, Arsenal play tactical, not risk-taking. If what we do don't work, there's no plan B. You can all see that, bro. Our aim is to defend our way through a game and then nick a goal rather than playing on the front foot. This team's got way more attacking potential. Look at this stat. If ever a stat summed up Mikel Arteta and the way we're playing and everything that's wrong, it's this. Ricardo Calafiori, our left-back, has attempted more shots than any Arsenal player in this season's Premier League. This is on Opta. And they're saying Buccaneer as if this is exciting. Our left-backs had more shots than our striker. Do you think that Gyökeres has had more shots than Ekitike for Liverpool? Do you think Ait Nouri's had more shots than Haaland? Do you think that Mendy or whoever plays left-back for Real Madrid has had more shots than Kylian Mbappe? This stat is crazy. It's crazy. It's everything that's wrong with Arsenal. We watch games and we're like, Calafiori's right wing, Calafiori's up front, Calafiori's at left back, Calafiori's in centre midfield. Our left back's got more freedom than our striker. You saw his shot the other day. He nearly hit the corner flag with his right foot from 30 yards. That stat is crazy. It's crazy. It shows you that your tactics are backwards. Your attacking player is the most attacking player. Your defender is the most attacking player in your team. Gyökeres hardly sees the ball. Your wingers are dropping back. When we played Bilbao the other day, I saw Calafiori ahead of Eze on the left. Eze was at left back and Calafiori was left wing. I said, something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. Our left back has had the most shots. He's having more shots than our £64 million striker, who just won the Gerd Müller award for scoring the most goals in Europe. As I said, you will not be at the Ballon d'Or awards next season, Victor Gyökeres, because you're going to score about 6 goals playing for Arsenal, because you ain't going to get no service. But anyway, big up Cooper. He said, thank you for all you do for your community. Thank you for getting all of us through some tough circumstances in life. Much love and respect. I appreciate that, man. Kind words, man. Gonna roll it. Unpopular opinion here. Our forwards and midfielders are not brave enough going forward, regardless of tactics. I think they can be, but you got to remember, a lot of our players are young. They're impressionable. Saka's been raised in the last few years by Arteta. So has Martinelli. Gyökeres is still new to the league. He's, these guys look up to Arteta. If you look at our attack, we haven't got an attack full of players where they've won loads of trophies and they're walking in with... These are guys that are coming in going, I'm learning from you. I'm happy to be at Arsenal. I'm on big wages. I'm going to listen to what you say. This is why he didn't want Aubameyang at the club, because Aubameyang's going, brother, what can you tell me about being a striker? Let me be a striker. Don't force me to the left and make me defend. That's why they clashed. Mesut Ozil, a free spirit. They clashed. Guendouzi, a free spirit. They clashed. Pepe, who likes to play with freedom, and clashed. Get out the club. 3 million. Get rid of him. Ozil, free agent. Get him out. Aubameyang, high five. Get rid of him. Guendouzi, get rid of him. Talks too much. Fights with the opposition. What, he's got some personality, you mean? I'm not saying all those decisions were wrong. I think Ozil was finished when we got rid of him. But he doesn't like those kind of characters. He wants to control them and say, right, even though that's how you play, this is how I want you to play. If Eze doesn't have freedom, you're not going to see the same Eze that played for Palace. Big up my bro Akeem. Eze and Nwaneri, their own was they want to play. You can tell, and Arteta don't like it. Oh, Eze and Nwaneri have their own way they want to play, is what I think you were saying. And you can tell Arteta don't like. Bro, he don't want Nwaneri in this team. Nwaneri comes on, we win 5-0, yeah, you're not playing. He views them players as a risk because he tries to take people on. He commits people to the ball. He doesn't like that. He wants pass, 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 pass. Pass the ball again, yeah. Oh, Marino's rolling around on the floor. He's won a free kick. Oh, yeah, great. Yeah, can't wait to watch that. That's why we don't go to games, because what's the point? Rice is on fraud watch through no fault of his own. I agree with you, Richard. 27th in the Ballon d'Or ratings. This guy's got him in a role he doesn't even play. Thinks he's Bruno Guimaraes. Timber last season sent him right back out there. Tarte. Someone just put Jamie Tart, and that's why I saw it, because I was thinking of the programme, But yeah, Thomas Tarte, Jesus. Partey tossed back on the pitch. Norway sent Odegaard back home. He'll now play Eze on the right. He hinted at his versatility. That would be perfect for him, wouldn't it? Play Eze on the right. As long as he ain't in the 10. You're right, bro. Gunnar Genk says Chelsea have a better medical team than us. Look at Reece James. Well, he's an injury-prone player, though, isn't he? Texas said Arteta should be managing Everton, not Arsenal. I agree with that. It'd be perfect for them. He'd keep them in the league. They'd have 10 players behind the ball. SG, wasn't Arteta under contract with Man City when Arsenal signed him and just buy out Enrique's contract? His dream job is to manage an English club, yeah? If a manager wants to leave and you buy them out of the contract, they go. Simple. Arteta, Pep gave him permission. I reckon Pep knew. I've got nothing to worry about there. Pep honestly looked at Arteta going to Arsenal and thought, yeah, we're good. And they were like, what do you mean? He said, we're good, bro. I'm better than him. I taught him everything he knows. I didn't teach him everything anyway, so they'll never win the league with him. Why do you think Arteta bigs up? Why do you think Pep bigs up Arteta so much? He wants him to stay there. It's no coincidence. Go and look at what the other managers say about Arteta. They big him up. They know why. They know why. They didn't stand there and big up Sir Alex Ferguson and Wenger. They were angry with them guys. They argued with them. They were frustrated that they were so good. Oh, Arteta, he's created a wonderful side over there at Arsenal. They've got a fantastic team. Yeah, we have got a fantastic team, but the manager ain't fantastic. Pep knows while he's there, I'm good, man. No one ain't. They're not going to do anything. Liverpool and Man City, they're the problem. They're the problem for each other, not this guy. This is his little bro. Arteta pushing and favouring Spanish players to feature in the World Cup. Zubby was tired. Yeah, he probably wants to get the Spanish team strong. And Aaron said Conte lost 4 out of his first 11 games with Chelsea in his first year. Was brave enough to change tactics to suit the squad. Went on to win the league. That's what elite managers do, bro. That's what elite managers do. Pick the team that suits the team. Pick the system that suits the team. Don't do what Amorim's doing and force it. And don't do what Arteta's doing. Arteta is the tactics, not the actual formation. It's the lack of freedom to attack. Port Vale tomorrow. How would we set up for this? I'm trying to just figure out quickly a team. Oh, there's 2 Keppers there, but we'll just pick Kepa. Kepa in goal. If Incapia, I don't know if he's fit, but if he's fit, we'll play him left centre-back. Mosquera right centre-back. Right back Ben White. Is it Benjamin White or Ben White? There we go. Benjamin White. Give Lewis Skelly game time. He's like the forgotten man, isn't he? I thought he'd go to the World Cup as England's left back. Now he can't get a kick. I mean, look how strong that back 5 is. Genuinely, that back 5 is better than some of the... That's probably better than the defence that we had when Arteta took over. That is actually a good back 4. Incapia is going to cost nearly 50 million. Mosquera's playing like a 50 million pound player. Ben White costs 50 million. And Lewis Skelly was starting for England. Midfield, I suppose you've got to go Norgard, aren't you, really? He needs some sort of game time. In fact, let me play him central. Norgard, and I would go... We haven't even got many centre mids, have we? Rice, Zubimendi and Norgard. I'll play Waneri. And I'll play... I don't even know I'd play in that role, to be honest. Who's the other... Would you play Marino? Or do you play Marino up front? Maybe, yeah, give Marino the game, because he ain't playing on the weekend. I don't want to see him anywhere near that Newcastle game. So you can play at Port Vale and roll around the pitch there. Play Max Dowman. Jeez, he's not even on the website. They're struggling there. No, Max Dowman then. Max Dowman on the right. Just work with me, people. He's not there, but he is there. I'm not playing Gyökeres. But you know what? I play Martinelli up top. Do something. I don't think Gyökeres is going to play. Play Trossard and Martinelli. Go with that. That's what I'd do. What would you guys do? I don't think you play Gyökeres in this game. Do that. Trossard, Martinelli, Dowman. Max Dowman's on the right, but he's not on the website, so forgive me. I can't think of anybody else, to be honest. Odegaard, do you need him to get minutes? Yeah, you could put Marino up front, maybe. You could put Marino up front because he's not bad up front. But I just want to see Martinelli play a game up front. I do think there's striker potential there, so I'll go with that. Brian says we can talk until we are blue in the face about how much of a fraud Arteta is. How do we get him out? I don't think we will get him out because our fan base are conflicted by him. He will get himself out by doing things like what he did on the weekend. If he gets beat by Newcastle this weekend, he is in big trouble. I'm telling you. He's in trouble. So, yeah, man. Would you guys involve Gyökeres to stat pad? Thing is, he was in France last night. They probably gave him a day off. Will they play him? And the problem is, imagine Gyökeres plays and doesn't score. You're going to destroy his confidence. Maybe I would involve Gyökeres, you know, just to get him a goal. You could even start him and take him off at half-time. But I almost think just save him. Just save him. That's what I would go with, people. Let me know your team in the comments. And hopefully we'll get the win tomorrow, man. Hopefully we'll get the win. People, I'm gonna round up today. I'm got a few errands to run, so we're gonna run just short of the hour. Khalid said Madueke injury has ruined my morning in the States. I suppose the only positive, number one, it wasn't as bad as they first thought. 2 months. There is 2 international breaks in that time, so there is going to be a couple of 2 week breaks. And second of all, Saka is back. My answer to this is always the same, RM, who says, my question, you remove Arteta, put who? I'm going for Luis Enrique, if you can get him out of PSG. Hansi Flick, Barcelona. Zinedine Zidane, who's out of work. Roberto Mancini, who's out of work. Simone Inzaghi, who's in Saudi. You get me one of them five, I'm a happy man. And we would get one of those five. If we approached all five of them with 15 million, one of those would be our manager. They're all miles clear of this manager. They've all won titles. They've all won cups. They all play attacking football. Get me one of them, I'm a happy man. I want Luis Enrique. I've got a feeling from what I've heard, Luis Enrique would be open to leaving at the end of the season. He said that he really wants to manage in the Prem. People, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate your support. Hit the like button and subscribe. I'll be on AFTV tonight at 7 with Cecil. I'll be back on here tomorrow with the watch along. Big up, everyone. Hit the like button. I'll see you soon, people. Bless.